What I'd like to do is introduce our project manager to run through our PowerPoint. It's going to give you an idea of where we are and what the future looks like. As just as a matter of information, we started work on this project upon our selection. So we've already done a lot of work to this point. Where I think we're ahead of the game. Factually, we're not under contract yet, but because we realize the importance of this to the parish and to the citizenry, we wanted to get ahead of the game and make some things happen. So, Nathan?
And again, we're happy to take questions. This is going to be a very high-level overview. So just to give you guys an idea of what we've already done on this project and where we expect to go. We've already reviewed the 2013 master plan. Obviously, I'm sure you all are aware of that and familiar with that project, or with that plan. And we've started to sort of take what we already know will be, the projection for these future zoning categorizations. So that middle image there is what we're working on, is taking the parcels, applying the recommended zoning that's already been presented to y'all, and then to start doing some analysis on where that is for our recommended changes to that to the zoning code. So that last image there, we've just started to sort of take a look at what zoning categorizations already exist in the parish, compare those to some other parishes that we've already heard, are good go-bys. Ascension Parish, we've already started to look at. St. Tammany Parish, we've started to look at, to sort of compare what's different between what already is in place for the few council districts that do have approved zoning, and where we think we could see some areas for room for improvement. So this is our proposed project timeline, and I just want to bring attention very quickly to that bottom section there. That's our zoning and land use update. So we've adjusted the schedule here. We are very aware of the existing moratorium. We're very aware of the crunch in trying to get something on the books, that the parish can move forward once that moratorium expires, if there is no extension. So what we've done is we will be kicking off our first stage, which is the public outreach of this, as soon as possible, so that we can get interim zoning in place in front of y'all before December, so that you have the opportunity to put in that interim zoning before the moratorium expires. So what that does to our schedule is that ends up pushing a lot of some of the master plan activities to early 2025. That'll give us an opportunity to really dig in, do the in-depth analysis that takes a little bit more time, recommend a second version, if you will, of the zoning code that will be delivered with the full master plan in the spring of 2025. We will provide monthly updates, written monthly updates to the council that will be able to, y'all can flip through that, ask us questions. And we also will be at the council meetings as well. And we would be happy to give an update, based on, there may be months where there isn't a lot of activities going on, but of course, we'd be happy to give you guys a rundown on future public outreach events, future, opportunities for us to get input from the public. Absolutely.
I'm not able to make the very next, the first meeting in September, but I will make the second meeting in September and give you an update. We will also be at the Planning Commission meetings and giving updates at the Planning Commission, because this is going to be coordinated with the Planning and Zoning Commission, right? So we want to make sure that we're on top of that. We will give monthly updates to you, and I will do that personally. And when needed, we'll have the WSP team there as well. Okay.
Perfect. We're committed to this being a very open and transparent process with multiple public meetings, public hearings around the parish. We've got as was earlier mentioned, there's a task force that's been put together, so named by the parish, that we'll coordinate with, and it's political, business, engineering, maybe some development, I'm not sure. I believe emergency services and that type of thing. But what I really want to point out, very importantly, is there's going to be an open and transparent process that will have a lot of public engagement, which Mickey will be leading for us.
So, and I think that's a great segue into this next slide here. So I just wanted to, this might seem a little elementary, but I think it's really important to sort of give people an idea of where we are right now. We're at the policy and planning section, so that second bubble there. So I'm an urban planner. I work with elected officials and engineers. We develop a plan that leads to construction and implementation. We work with our developers and contractors to actually make those plans come to life. And that results in our communities, our houses, businesses, everything that makes up a community. But what's really important and is the biggest key input there is that red bubble, which is our public input. And so without that public input, we can have aspirations all day long for what we'd like to be in the community, but it's the implementation side and the realization side that really rests on the public input. And so really you see there, it just becomes a cycle that once the public knows what their community needs, that leads right back to our public input. So I just think that's really important that, everybody is aware that public input, the outreach side of things is going to be the very first step in this process, and it's going to be what's guiding basically the entire plan.
This is just some summary of analysis that we've been doing. This in particular is comparative analysis of some existing Livingston Parish zoning standards and Ascension Parish zoning standards. We're doing a lot of analysis. We're going to look at a lot of different comparables, all with the goal of hitting some keywords that you've already mentioned tonight. Consistency, clarity, I think I would add sustainability and resilience. The objective of all of this, improvements to zoning codes, master plan, policy updates, everything all together is about ending up with policies and ordinances that add clarity, that achieve objectives that we learn through public involvement, through the stakeholder involvement process, and that set the stage for future quality development, sustainable development, and resilience in the community. So I'll stop with that, and we'll be happy to answer any questions.
I did have one last slide. I'm sorry. This is our most important slide. So for those of you in the room who are interested in, working with us, giving us your input on this, this is our very first step here, is getting some contact information from people who might be interested in, filling out these surveys, coming to these meetings, but also getting that word out to others as well. So please take a photo of this, give us your contact information. I've got cards as well if anybody would prefer to just shoot me an email. We're really looking forward to this.